and to give yourself some visibility. And it's gone with little results. And I'm very familiar with that. You might be too. Well, Diane Forster, who you see on screen, has a fresh perspective and a strategy for getting out there in a bigger way. So I'm super excited to have you, Diane. I wanted you to share a little bit about your background and why are you so passionate about women getting their message out?
Well, hi, Laura. It's so good to see you again. I'm so grateful to be here. My background was in advertising and television sales. I spent over 32 years working in those industries. I've been around television my entire life, my entire career, through account work, through media buying, planning, supervising, a lot of strategy, and then went over to the sales side when I moved to Chicago. And I spent my last 20 years working at Disney ABC. So I've worked with every client imaginable under the sun, from the small mom and pop shops to the largest corporations in the world. And I know television inside and out. And so when I reinvented 7 years ago to become a life and mindset coach and walk away from corporate, I quickly discovered, I think I need to have my own TV show because it's a crowded space. And how am I, as someone who's new in this industry, going to stand out? So I took all my years' experience, and I was never in front of camera before. I was always behind the scenes, but I knew a lot about it. And so I created my first show to absolutely crickets. It was on a webinar platform, and I just started. I started sloppily, but I started perfecting it. And now 5 years later, my show is one of the #1 shows on the E360 television network. We're the #1 show in most minutes viewed. So engagement is there, and it's really changed my career totally. Yeah.
Well, I love that you have the experience of both in the industry and, falling on your face in the industry and then building it way up to something. And so if people can get some information from you, that would be great. And speaking of that, that's why we've invited you to the Speaker Success Training for next week. You're going to be the trainer. You're going to be talking about the 7 steps for the 7 best kept secrets to become a dynamic TV personality. And you've done that. So give us a little bit more about what people are going to learn on February 8th at 11 a.m. Speaker Success Training.
Well, I'm so excited to be presenting this. So what I'm going to talk about is a bit about the television industry, why TV now, why now is the absolute best time to become really so good on camera, but have your own asset, your own entity, and your own show. And I'll talk about, there's definitely things that you don't want to do. I see a lot of hosts making 3 mistakes out there. So I'll talk about what those are. And of course, I'll share these 7 secrets. And the reason why these are so important is because I have done all the trial and error, and I've learned what works and what doesn't. And every show absolutely needs these 7 things in order for it to be successful, engaging to the audience, and be in demand and help create that authority and credibility for yourself. So yes.
I know you're going to be training for 90 minutes, and that's going to be on February 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And if anybody's wondering, how can I get into this training? Well, if you're a premier member at Women Speakers Association, it's free. And if you're not a member, you can go to speakersuccesstraining.com and register. And it's very worthwhile and probably the best deal out there that you can get. Now, you mentioned a couple of things. You said, getting out there it takes effort. There's some secrets and things that people do wrong. What advice do you have for women, though, who might be a little shy or feel like they're not going to want to, this may not be for them?
Right. Well, a couple of things. You won't get better until you start. It's never going to feel comfortable. Even for me, I've been doing this for 5 years. Whenever I start a show or I go out on stage and speak, there's always that fear that comes up, and you've just got to allow that to live next to you. But at the same time, everything that you want is just slightly on the other side of feeling a little bit of discomfort, and that's okay. And the more you work that muscle, the better. And you're probably better than you think. If you can let go of the fear, that you have associated with, and understand that what you're actually doing is having a two-way conversation. And my visualization when I am hosting my show is I'm only talking to one person. There's only one person in my mind. And so when I'm engaged either in an interview or if I'm hosting a solo show or a segment, I'm only speaking to one person. And the thing is, this is a skill and it can be taught, and it can be taught well. And so, but you won't get better until you start. You won't.
And I've seen it so many times, just like you, people who they feel like they're falling on their face over and over again, but they get better, and they get better pretty quickly, when they have some guidance, when they're encouraged, when they're really passionate about their message. Now, the other question I want to kind of wrap up with is, you mentioned crickets. When you first go out there was crickets. What's that all about? And what can people do to prevent that or get through that to like more visibility?
Yeah. Well, I think you have to have an understanding of market impressions and ratings and, reach and all of those things, because it's everywhere. But if you're not trained in that and you don't understand that, then you are confused by that, or perhaps even misled by that. And so there are a lot of opportunities out there to host a show on different platforms that are telling you, you're getting exposure on this network or that network without claiming, naming any of them. I'm going to talk a lot about this in the training. I'm going to go deep so that everybody can understand this, and they're going to go, oh my God, it makes so much sense now. What you want, you need to know that, and then you need to understand the power of leverage and leveraging your show. And I'm going to train on that. And your television show is the representation of you. It is long form content, building a relationship with your audience. But it's at the top. It's the first domino. In my world, it's the first domino. And then everything else comes from that. And so how you create more omnipresence organically, either with no money or low money, is by understanding the technical aspect of what's actually going on. And I'm gonna go deep into this in our 90-minute training next week. So
awesome. So would you say you would recommend people who have some sort of TV show or live stream or YouTube channel join us for some in-depth work to expand their visibility?
I absolutely would. I would say if you're a newbie just starting out and you don't know what to do, you need to be there. If you've got some experience, but it's not going as well as you want, you need to be there. And even if you think your show's doing well and you just want to learn some hacks, I would be there too. It's for everybody, because this is so hot right now. Hot as in it's popping up everywhere. So there's two things you need, and I'm going to tell you what they are at the event. So if you're involved in this or want to get involved in TV hosting, come to this event.
Two things you need to do what?
To do this really, really well. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. You need a strategy and a structure. And I'm going to talk about that.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. Can't wait. So you're chomping at the bit like I am to have and learn these 7 secrets and be with Diane to become that dynamic TV personality, get the visibility and your message out there that you deserve. Join us at speakersuccesstraining.com. Check it out. If you have any questions, if you're already a Premier member, this is included. Just check your email every Monday. You get an email with all the details on how to show up on February 8th, 11 a.m. Speaker Success Training with Diane on the 7 secrets, the best kept secrets to become a dynamic TV personality. I can't wait. Diane, thank you so much. Anything else you wanted to mention?
Thank you, Laura. No, I just want to leave it with that. I hope that you'll come, because I'm so passionate about helping women get their messages out to the world in a bigger way. And I know before my reinvention how much support I needed, but I didn't know. And so people can't find you unless you're out there. And trust me, they are looking for you. They are looking for your gifts. So I'll leave it at that.
Awesome. We'll see you there, everyone. Thanks, Diane.
Thanks, Laura.